I'm doing this particular video for those folks, those people that are friends of mine in my messenger window, and then post it up on Facebook um, about something that I covered in a video, one of the videos that I did. I don't know when it was, a year or so ago, I guess. But it's for me, it's based. It's nursery school, right? And it's nursery school in the way that, and I've certainly covered this subject before when it comes to guardian materials, because there are words that get passed on to me, right? Because I've been going through this since I was a little kid. Okay, I'll just give you a few words: arrogance. Now, and another word, actually one of the most important words I know in the English language as it relates to vibration and frequency or running a radio set, particularly with language, the language of math, and the language of letters and numbers as energy. The word perception and the word vibration. Vibration perception. Remember, mirror management, energy management, magnetic management, running electrified sound currents, or if you will, what I perceive, perception, the perception of the universe that I experience is what love is. That means that everywhere I go, I'm experiencing what I am, which is what love is. Therefore, my magnet, which is a single pole, which is a power candle, is experiencing what love is in my mirror. That means I'm in love with everything that is in the mirror. I love the tree. I love the birds. I love the earth, all the elementals, all the cells, all the cell membranes. That's pretty simple for a 4-year-old little kid to explain that to their parents. Okay? That's nursery school because little children go to nursery school. So when I realized as a little toddler, the word toddler and what a toddler is, that's a little child. So I acknowledged when I was a little toddler, I'm a learner. I'm a student in the universe. And I'm on fire to experience everything that is possible to experience. And the reason that you can acknowledge that you know there's an infinite amount of potential possibilities is because you have infinite love in which to experience infinite creative possibilities, because you're running on infinite creative imagination, which is infinite creative intelligence. And you wouldn't be able to recognize that, because I acknowledge that within me, if you weren't connected to something in which you're experiencing that. That means I'm connected to a God. I'm connected to a real one, an eternal one, which is an eternal flame, which is known as flame body activation. So that's why some folks in the spiritual community I've met throughout my life who were waking up because of the codes, releasing the codes, releasing gate codes, right? Remember, the indigo is releasing codes. Okay, begin to wake up because now they're aware of more information that is coded as mathematical codes, right? So now they're experiencing more of what they remember about who they are, which means their memories are returning, right? Of who they are, what they remember themselves to be, if you will, the way that a human angelic is described. Now, with me, you can take the word angel, and it can also mean an angle of light. Now you're into lines of communication. Now we're into geometric lines of communication. Now we're into sound and light, geography, right? Geographical, geometrical sound and light patterns of holographic information that we're experiencing in our TV screen, right? Like a cathode ray, lava, lava tube. Yeah, to be, I love this. So I've always known, because I've acknowledged this, that it's one thing to experience being loved. It's also another thing to experience being what love is in living spirit. In other words, you are what love is. So you're experiencing the love that you're experiencing through your heart and soul, being what love is. So therefore, love is the energy that we're using to be what we are, that we're spreading and we're gifting at no charge. When that energy is on fire, gifting that energy away, you combine that with a child that is on fire, gifting love energy away, then the love energy that it's experiencing, being what love is the mirror that they're experiencing what they are in energy, in living spirit with a soul. Right? So how I wanted to sort of unfold this morning is something that I guess that she mentioned. Now I can't remember what it was. I guess it was important at the time to share it, because it's just like the way I felt when I was 4 years of age. I'm still on fire, okay? Or if you will, give me my permission to be excited about being what I am in energy, because the energy naturally harmonizes the music. So you're a musician. You're a first musician. You're experiencing the first musician from which it all began. So now you're able to harmonize, which means you're able to tune your radio set. And now you're able to tune into the star radio networks, right? So if your radio set is in tune and you're in balance so that you have a clear channel, right, then you're not experiencing any distorted waves. So that means that what you've learned how to do is to run a radio set, a very powerful, universal, and galactic radio set, right? So that means that you know how to tune out. I'll give you an example. This fan right up here, can you hear it? Goes like ball bearings, like being in a factory, right? So there are times at night when all of a sudden I'm tuned into it. Oh man, it's like I'm in a machine shop. I'm never going to be able to go to sleep when I'm tuned into that. I'm tuned into that sound, right? So in order for me to get to sleep, what does it mean I got to do? Tune it out. Oh, so you're tuning your radio set. You're going to tune out that frequency. That's right. You're a tuner. You're a natural tuner. Tuners are codes, right? Electric currents, sound currents, and light, right? So if I want to experience being in a state of peace through my heart and my soul, right, and I want to go to sleep and meditate in my heart, go into dreamland, and I had some very powerful dreams this last night or in the middle of the morning. And one of the things that I'm noticing recently now is I'm able to hold on to them, which means I wake up and they're still there. And there have been a lot of times, believe it or not, I've woken up and I've been able to hold the data, the visual information data, the mathematical music that is holding that stuff in image form. It's like phase locked. And we'll return to that dream, by the way, because I was having fun in that dream. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to sleep so I can return to that dream, which means instead of experiencing this, I'm going to go experience using my consciousness energy to be in the other stuff. Ever done that? Ever returned to a dream? Ever held a dream in place that I'm going to hold this in Memory Plus with your radio set calculus, right? I'm going to hold that dream, put it in Memory Plus, right? And then we're going to go play it again. Oh, we're going to go play it again. Yeah, we're going to go play again. We're going to go play in that dream again. So what it means, you put it on hold, which is like a holding pattern, right? And then I'm going to go back to sleep and I'm going to go experience that again. And we're going to pick up exactly where we left off. Imagine you could do that. I've had one of the great benefits of being on this particular island, particularly when you go down to the east side, where there's a place I call it the Fork in the Road. You drive right by a place on the right, which is known as the Big Island Noni Juice Factory. And if you've never had noni juice, boy, is that great stuff for your lungs. You know, when I was weaning myself off of some prescription drugs that I was being given that I'd been on for years because of a compression fracture I had on my lower spine and then had surgery that didn't go. I'm not going to go off on all that direction, but nevertheless, when I'm weaning off of that particular pain medicine that I was on, I realized the impact it was going to have on my lungs and to keep my lungs in a clear field to be able to do heavy-duty breath work, right? So I needed to get myself off of that. So I happen to know that taking noni, which is a fruit that grows on this island, is one of the most powerful biochemical ways in which to clear your lungs. Get your any kind of heart-lung issues that you're having so that your bowel voltage is moving at a very high rate of speed. That noni stuff is really, that's like I call it a wonder drug, a wonder plant, you know, like Wonder Woman. Yeah. That's very, very powerful stuff. It's called noni. You can get it from I believe you can probably order it online. I know that there's another place down here in Waimea. They call it Comula, which is near Foodland down the road here. It's got I believe the place is called Healthways, where you can order it and they'll ship it to you, but it's more expensive there. It's like 60 some odd bucks, I guess, for a couple bottles of it. But if you go to the Big Island Noni Juice Factory, they had, I was getting it for 14 bucks for about, what was it? A little more than a pint, maybe. It was more than a pint. 14 bucks for about a pint. And it doesn't take very much. You know, I used to slug on that when I was having some real lung congestion issues, and hit on it maybe 3 times during the day, you know, a couple good slugs. And then that pint would last me maybe 3 days. And within 3 days, boy, my lungs were completely clear. And the reason that I know that I was going for some pretty long hikes, I'd hike from Kalapana, which is several miles up the road, going all the way down to like sea level, and then hiking all the way back up without having to stop and take a breath. So noni juice is really, really good for those that have asthma problems, any kind of, what do you call it, congestive stuff. Chronic bronchitis, those kind of issues from exposure to radiation, right? Particularly if you were a smoker for a number of years, of which I was, right? I haven't had a cigarette in many years. Like how long has it been, Mama? I know I'm forgetting something. I'll get back to it. I'm going to have to re-jerk I get a lot of signal interference from the phone here. It's the nature of what it is, you know, so I'm always reminded, it's okay. It's okay. You can run all the signal interference you want on my own thought patterns, right? I'll just retune myself back into a state of balance because it's not about me. It's about all the others. That's how it was ever since I was a child. When you realize that you're experiencing what love is, goes on forever through your own heart and soul, you know that you're experiencing the gift that you're experiencing. That's an eternal blessing, which is an eternal gift. So we share that gift at no charge to anybody else. That's called an eternal blessing. And particularly when you know that there are so many other folks that do not experience what we do, right? So it's always going to be about all the others because we're experiencing all the others that don't experience what we experience, right? And so that becomes maintaining that love vibration frequency, right? When you know that you're on a battlefield between those that don't experience it and being, say, targeted because they realize how powerful your energy is, because love is the most powerful magic, right? Because when something that is not experiencing what love is or experiencing trauma, and a living spirit with a soul brings that energy in with very powerful scalar ways, is now experiencing what love is, that antenna is going to experience what we are, which is what love is, and that will heal. Whether it's a tree, whether it's a plant, whether it's a bird, whether it's a dog, whether it's a living cell membrane. That cell membrane, the antenna, will experience the signal, the frequency, right? So this was all about restoration. You know, restoring sanity is restoring what love is, which is restoring the peace, which is restoring the harmony, which is restoring the balance and the rhythm of the waves. The spirit that is in the rhythm of the waves. So it's what's on the inside. Remember, it's what's on the inside that counts. Inside the heart chakra, right? The heart shield, right? Protecting the heart, it's protecting the soul. That's the shield. That's the crystalline shield, right? So now I just came full circle and remembered what I was going to do this video on. It has to do with teachers. And I covered a little bit in some previous videos that I meant about they are teachers in their own right, right? So I remember when I was a youngster about, listen, let's cut right to the chase. Instead of having to go to all these different classrooms to go into your elementary school, your nursery school, I want to go to the first music teacher. Where's the first music teacher? I want to learn how to play music that goes on forever, gifting electrons. I want to learn how to be able to do that. I want to learn how to be able to do that so the perception of power that I have through me is giving energy away. How can I learn from the first teacher how to give energy away so that I'm not experiencing a loss of energy in anybody else because they're not getting enough energy? I want to learn how to be able to do that. And I know that if I learn how to do